Welcome everyone to this week's episode of Unrooted Men's Volleyball Edition, and my guest for this week's show is none other than freshman defensive specialist on the men's volleyball team, Ian Martins. Ian, thanks so much for joining me on the show.
Thank you, Brian, for having me.
No problem. Let's start by getting to know you a little bit better. Now, if you look at the screen, you're going to notice something that is a clear indicator about who Ian is as a person. You're trying to bring back a trend, the rolling backpack. Why do you carry this around? What do you put in it? Just tell me about it.
So I guess I first adapted the roller backpack starting in my junior year of high school. It was to just carry, at first I thought it was just going to be for a heavy load of books and textbooks. But as weeks previous, with Brad's interview, it's just loaded with a bunch of peanut butter jelly sandwiches, road flares, and 6 seasons of Friends.
Okay, so where are the road flares?
So I actually don't have any road flares on me.
Come on.
But to start it off, I guess I could share a few items that I stuff in this backpack. So we got the quart-sized container of peanut butter.
To share with everybody, of course.
To share, oh yeah. And I definitely have to stick to my roots. My Spam Musubi bag definitely has to be in there.
So you always have lunch ready. That's good.
Always have lunch ready. Okay. And just in case lunch goes bad, just a slight roll of toilet paper. But,
oh my.
This is emergency purposes only. We got some lemon juice just in case you want to spice things up.
Mm-hmm. On that peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Yep. Keeping track of my Hawaii calendar, dude. I mean, seriously, this is going to be what month is this? Is this July?
Well, we're filming February 28th.
That's pretty close, though.
This gets aired in March. So I don't really know what month you want to call that.
Hey, we'll go with March. Okay. March.
Okay.
March. And then if you're ever bored, you always need to kind of spice things up with the complete works of William Shakespeare. Get it, kids. It's only $30, okay? Just do it.
The complete... Have you read that thing front to cover?
I have not yet
cover to cover,
read cover to cover, but I've read a few of his stories, like Hamlet, got 12th Night, and Romeo and Juliet, but I'm still working on a few of them, so...
My goodness gracious. I've seen you have this thing for a couple of months now, and I never would have envisioned that all of this would be inside. I didn't know what to expect, but I did not expect to see a calendar, Shakespeare.
And just in case, you need the little comb for the hair flip.
Of course.
So, yeah.
Yeah, you have to be ready to make a good first impression on anybody.
Oh, yeah.
Well, this is quite impressive, I must say. And
thank you.
What's the one thing, if you had to say something we're missing from this, and I imagine if something were missing, you'd probably fix it. But if something were missing, what would you add?
I would definitely add a can of Spam. Definitely a can of Spam.
To fit with the lunchbox.
To fit with this lunchbox.
Exactly.
Definitely a can of Spam.
Okay, wow.
Can of Spam, bag of rice, and a box of nori.
And road flares.
And road flares. Don't forget the road flares.
One of the things that you quickly took to when you came here at Menlo, aside from the continuation of the rolling backpack, was actually being one of our student workers for home games on campus. That's why I'm all buddy-buddy with Ian here. What drew you towards getting involved with our athletic department?
So I guess even from high school, it's something I've always been interested in doing, working with the athletic department. So I just quickly found a way to contact Lucas, my boss, and told him that I would want to help out wherever I could. And if there were any open available positions that I'd be totally willing to work. Started with the women's volleyball games early on this year. With score sheets and stuff like that, and then now I'm working a few basketball games. Haven't done any of the other games except basketball yet, but those have been pretty fun because I get to attend events and get paid for doing what I love.
Right.
Get paid.
That. That's what drew me towards it in the first place.
Get paid. You get paid to do what you love. So
yeah, and we always need the help. So any students out there that are watching this interview could use help in the department. So come on out and support your Oaks and Get a great learning experience while you're at it. Back in high school, King Kekalike High School is where you graduated from. You were the male valedictorian. That's quite an impressive honor. Is there any pressure for you to try and follow that up here at Menlo and try and take home another valedictorian honor?
Well, I guess for the valedictorian honor, it's something I guess you have to be mentally engaged with the entire time. You can't like slack at any given point. So with that, I think it's to carry on to Menlo. We actually use a little bit different system in high school as far as the GPA scale. So it is a lot tougher here at Menlo, but I'm trying to do my best that I can to get the highest GPA possible. So yeah. But it is more of a challenge.
And of course, being a student athlete on top of that, emphasis on the athlete part, that does not make it any easier whatsoever.
Oh, no.
The good news, though, you did it in high school, so you at least have the experience trying to balance your schedule. That certainly is a good thing. All right, Ian, let's talk a little bit about the team here now. One of your roles specifically on this team has been a defensive specialist, of course, and so it often involves serving. For those of you who primarily just come in the game to serve, at least at this point, can it be difficult not doing much for a stretch of time and then being inserted for potentially just one play to serve and then you're back out?
Yeah, I think it's for that position, that role on the team, it's being ready to handle the pressure just as much as like the pressure is like applied to you. You have to give as much pressure to the other team by serving a tough ball in and playing defense, and just be ready for whatever's being thrown at you, I guess. It's being open to the situation.
How helpful is it that you have a couple of other guys who do similar things?
Yeah, we have like a few of them on the team, like Clay, Cole, Bryson, Pedro, we're all in that kind of defensive role. So I guess it's been it's an easier transition to have other people that I could rely on, and then along with the coaching staff that they've helped us grasp what they want and what they expect of us. So yeah, it's been an easier transition for sure.
Now, being a young first-year program, not too many opponents on the schedule, so the calendar is a little bit lean, but you guys are now in the part of your schedule where you're facing teams for the second, maybe even the third time. How important is that experience against a team for a group of guys such as yourself? Well,
luckily we've had experience to get to play like Merced a few times. We've played Hope International, I believe, twice now. So it's been good to see the competition within our own league, and then also getting to compete nationally with other tournaments like in Chicago and soon upcoming in Arizona as well next weekend. So it's about how we can reflect the competition that's out there compared to what we need to do in the practice gym ourselves.
Yeah, I like that you bring up the road trips, the long trip, Chicago, Arizona. How helpful have those been to bring you guys together as a team? Because, you know, everyone is in the same situation for the most part, except for a few veteran guys, but this is all kind of new to you guys in a way.
Yeah, that's true. I myself have not personally traveled to Chicago that far before, so that was a totally different experience. One of the guys told me that he's never been on a plane ride before, so that's also another eye-opener. So I guess for our cohesive unit-wise as a team, it's a good experience to just see what else I guess is out there and just adapt to the environment that we have given to us in that situation.
Now, you guys had a lot of games early on in the year, January and into February, but now it's kind of lightened up a little bit. You guys have a break right now.
Oh yeah, that's so nice.
I was going to say, is that something you enjoy, and you guys as a whole enjoy this time off before you go get ready for another tournament?
Oh yeah, so like in recent weeks we've had, just this past week actually, we've had about 2 days off, like nice 2 days off. Which means we get to have a lot of rest, because rest is important, especially for any student athlete on campus. Resting and eating well is kind of priority, so to have this break, definitely easier on the body. And there's been a lot of sickness going around on the campus, so staying healthy, getting some rest is definitely something necessary for the team.
Now, as the season has progressed, what's one thing you've noticed as like a major improvement for you guys from game one to where you're at now?
So the biggest game improvement, I'd definitely say we've finally have decided on a system that we want to run, like our defensive system particularly. It's just, I think now with that step of finding a system that we like, we're just going to have to like learn how to execute. Learning how to execute our system is what we're going to need to do in the next step. From like right now to the end of our season.
And then just continue that progress into year 2, year 3, and you guys will still be playing all together.
Oh, yeah.
Then it's going to be one heck of a veteran-led team at that point. Then the rest of the NAI might want to watch out because men's volleyball could be on the map here at Menlo College pretty soon.
That's true.
All right, Ian, let's get into the final segment of the show. It's called Brownie Bites. I'm going to ask you 3 off-the-wall questions. Give me your best answer.
Sounds good.
Question number 1. I don't know how anyone could top your backpack, but which teammate would stuff the most obscure items into their rolling backpack?
I'd definitely have to say Ryan.
Okay.
I only say Ryan because I'll give an example. Yesterday, we all went to Jamba Juice before as a pregame, like a little pregame snack, and there's a Cold Stone right next to the Jamba Juice. Ryan, as tempted as Ryan was, he went to the Cold Stone, bought the most giant ice cream cone you could think of. Literally the waffle cone, the chocolate syrup, overflowing, everything. And I think he'd be the one to smuggle in a little bit of extra items or extra ice cream in his backpack.
Some extra toppings
Extra
in his
toppings.
backpack, you might want to call it that. All right. Well, at least he knows how to ice cream. That's good.
And whatever works. Whatever works.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I don't know how many different toppings you could fit in there, but you could probably fit an assortment of like 30 different ones in that backpack. You got enough compartments for it. Question number 2. Which teammate dresses the most like a valedictorian?
I think this one's kind of easy. I'm going to go with Brad. I say Brad, he is kind of, we call him dad on the team. So I guess he's the most, definitely the most, like, as far as personality, and he's the lone senior on the team. So, and I believe he's actually possibly going to be graduating a valedictorian here. He's high up there in the GPA system. So, but he dresses very professionally, and he's always bringing like fun energy to the team too. So
Brad the dad. That's
Brad
a good ring to it. Might need to make that into a hashtag or something. Question number 3. Which teammate would be the best to go see a random concert with?
Ooh. I would actually have to, could I say multiple of them?
You can.
I would actually choose our libero squads. So that would be our defensive specialist squad. I would definitely say it would be Pedro, Bryson, Cole, and Clay. All 4 of those guys. I think that we're kind of gelled on as far as finding what we like. In fact, I know like Cole, he knows a lot about music himself. So, and then you got Pedro, who's always dancing. Bryson's got his own moves, and Clay's just got his own. He's got his style. So,
and he's got
the swag. He's got the hair.
Yeah,
that's important. Yeah. So, yeah. So I would definitely choose them to see a random concert with.
Who do you think you'd go see?
Ooh,
that's the question.
I would say let's tune into next episode and we'll find out.
Ooh, look at that tease right there from Ian Martin.
Let's tune into next week's episode.
All right. And bigger tease, you're going to have to wait an extra week because next week is spring break and we're not doing any episodes next week.
Sorry,
so
guys.
You got to wait 2 weeks to find out exactly what concert they're going to go see.
Yep.
What a tease. Ian, thank you so much for joining me on the show.
Thanks, Brian.
No problem, folks. Yeah, you're going to have to wait an extra week, but also you're going to have to wait an extra week to see the men's volleyball team in action again. They are going on the road down to Phoenix to begin March. That's on March 8th, 9th, and 10th. They will have, 4 games on the schedule across those 3 days. They take on Grand Canyon, Mount Olive College, Benedictine University, and Ottawa University at Arizona. So a lot of games for them. They'll be back at home inside Haynes Prim Pavilion on Wednesday, March 14th for senior night as they host UC Merced. And senior night is literally senior night, not seniors, because Brad Sawan is the only senior on the men's team.
Brad the dad.
Brad the dad. All right, folks, so tune in a couple of weeks when we come back from spring break to find out who the next interviewee will be here on Unrooted Men's Volleyball Edition and just what concert Ian is talking about. Until then, we'll see you next time. Take care, everybody.
Aloha.